Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, Mr. Beast is cooked as the mainstream media has begun to cover the Beast Games situation. Yesterday, I made a video covering how Mr. Beast's PR team and came out and said, yeah, Jimmy said some offensive things in the past, blah, 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 blah. Nobody was worried about that. What people are worried about is the whole Squid Games, Beast Games nonsense going on where people are almost very close on the thin line of possibly losing their lives over a $5 million prize in a game show over the horrific conditions that they are going through. It's made it to the New York Post at this point. Mr. Beast's team acknowledges need for improvement after contestants didn't get adequate food and medical care during contests with $5 million prize. And it even made it to the New York Times, which is kind of insane, willing to for Mr. Beast and $5 million. The contestants in the Internet Stars Beast Games expected outlandish challenges and signed contracts that acknowledged the risks of injury, serious injury, and still few were prepared for the conditions on the set. We're going to take a look at this article because it is insane that this situation is finally making it mainstream. You know, that's all it takes. Rosanna Pansino, we had issues with her. People had problems with her. They thought she was clout chasing. They thought she was after Mr. Beast because, you know, he's more successful and whatnot, and he edited her out of winning the hide and seek game. It was unfair. It was uncalled for. We owe her an apology. She's been doing great work to cover all of the Mr. Beast game situations, the people who have been coming forward with their private, messages and emails to her, violating their own NDAs, putting their own, livelihoods at risk. We've seen the way that Mr. Beast and his undercover operators, his mafia-style games, have been going towards Dogpack, trying to cease and desist him, silence him, have unknown numbers call him allegedly. But we have Rosanna Pansino working on the inside, a celebrity of sorts, a YouTuber with 14 million subs, has been covering this situation, and to see it finally make it onto the New York Times is pretty insane. It's pretty awesome, because that means people are going to see the New York Times, know they're a trusted source, say, man, maybe this does have some validity to it. Maybe it's not just a disgruntled Rosanna Pansino. Maybe it's not just CamNuggets trying to, make videos on YouTube and grow, whatever the case may be. It's finally getting to a point where the mainstream media, the news, is going to cover the situations of Mr. Beast, and it's no longer going to be a thing where he can just come out with some half-baked apology and say, well, I'm sorry, we're looking into it, my third party is looking into it. That's not going to be the thing, right? Now, this article's pretty great. It's by Madison Malone Kircher. Thank you for bringing this to everyone's attention. It just kind of goes over who Mr. Beast is, how old he is, some of his most popular videos. We know the deal. Now, what gets kind of funny right here is this part that says, familiar with Mr. Beast's content with the links to which those who appear in his videos must go to win, many expected outlandish and even potentially risky challenges. I mean, you have to, if you know who Mr. Beast is. During an intake process this year, several contestants told the New York Times that they had been asked whether they would be willing to be buried alive or travel to outer space. So people are basically being told this is going to be pretty insane. You're going to have to be willing to deal with something insane. And that's very fine. I think that, being buried alive, of course, you'd be given food and water and the things to be kept alive. And to travel to outer space, of course, you'd be given MREs and rations and other things. So people are going into these challenges thinking, okay, I mean, it's Mr. Beast. He makes $100-something million a year, hundreds of millions of dollars a year. He'll be able to keep me, healthy. But that's not what's happening in the Beast Games. More things are coming out that these people aren't being kept healthy, right? One contestant recalled being asked if she would be able to swim to shore if thrown overboard from a boat, in which they responded with, I understand that such activities may cause me illness or serious bodily injury, including but not limited to exhaustion, dehydration, overexertion, burns, and heat stroke. Read a line in the contract. So they had to sign something saying, yeah, if I die, if I get seriously injured, lose an arm, then that's okay because, there's $5 million at the end. And people who need money are going to sign this. If I was given a contract for $5 million and it says, hey, you might lose a finger or two, I don't know. My finger, my hand will be really, really close to signing that dotted line. And like we've seen with the Rosanna Pansino situation, a homeless woman came out. A homeless woman would change, $5 million would change their entire life. Even $10,000 could change their entire life. People will do a lot of things that they don't exactly want to do and that they will live to regret for $5 million. Just saying. What they did not expect, however, were the more mundane yet potentially dangerous inconveniences that they said had befallen them during the competition. Speaking with the New York Times on the condition of anonymity due to the non-disclosure agreements, the NDAs, over a dozen people who participated in the first installment of Beast Games said that they had not received adequate food or medical care and that some competitors had suffered injuries from the physical challenges. Now, do you guys think that 12 people are all going to come out and lie on poor old Jimbo's name? Especially after the MrBeast is a fraud video has come out to cover all of these awful situations in the past, like illegal gambling and, downright scamming and tricking and manipulation, allegedly. Right? Do you think that 12 people are all going to come out and just lie and possibly be whistleblowers to the New York Times? Because I don't think so. Some contestants left the competition arena on stretchers, a contestant said, though it was unclear if any of those contestants had faced serious medical condition. Another described watching fellow contestants vomit and appear to pass out. There were several hospitalizations. Again, this matches up with Rosanna Pansino, who witnessed, or not witnessed, but she had people reach out to her saying they witnessed other people, throwing up, having seizures, passing out. In a text message, a spokesperson for MrBeast said the shoot was unfortunately complicated by the CrowdStrike incident, extreme weather, and other unexpected logistical and communication issues. Now, at this point, with all these issues going on, these games should have ended. Everyone should have been sent home, had their flight paid for, sent home, say, hey, maybe we have to rethink this. We have to delay this game by a year and make sure that we have everything ready. It doesn't make any sense to have a game show that is paid for and pretty much brought to the world by Amazon, not have the adequate supplies, not have the adequate staff and conditions to run these games, and continue to run them. Again, it's like some Squid Game stuff, it's like some Hunger Games stuff, where the Capitol last minute is changing the rules of the game. There's like, yeah, we promised you food, we promised you this, but like, we only have some chocolate bars on hand, so here, eat that. We only have like these Gatorade packets, so suck on these or something. Something to keep you alive, okay? We want to keep you alive. We're going to give you $5 million at the end, even though we're going to make like hundreds of millions from the show. And that's the big problem. These people are being put in horrific conditions for $5 million, which is a lot of money for someone like me, for someone like you. But for MrBeast is like $100. For Amazon, that's like $100. These shows need to stop. These shows don't need to keep going. It doesn't need to be we just kind of made a big oopsie. What's up, guys? We made a big oopsie at the Beast Games. Yeah, a real misinput on our part. No, none of that. It needs to end. End the games. And what really bothers me is this right here. Representatives for Amazon MGM Studios declined to comment. Again, super silent. They know all the horrific things going on and they're so silent. It's not a good look whatsoever. You are Amazon. Amazon, one of the largest, richest companies in the world, and you are silent on the mistreatment of this game show. Borderline illegal. Almost illegal. The only thing that's separating it from being illegal and legal is people sign some paperwork, right? And here's also a really good point. We signed up for the show, but we didn't sign up for not being fed, watered, or treated like human beings. And that goes down to like a lot of comments I've been receiving. People are like, bro, they knew what they signed up for. It's a game show for $5 million. It's not going to be easy. But again, if you're promised food, water, sleep, rest, pads, medicine, all this stuff, and you're not given any of it, there's a fine line between being treated fairly and, being treated as like an indentured servant there for entertainment, especially knowing you might not win. You might lose, and all you'll be given is $1,000 and like a coupon for a MrBeast shirt. That's not worth possibly all of the negativity, all of the negative consequences of these games. And now there's a few extra weird little things in here, like right from the start, things seemed off. Some contestants said they had originally been told that the competition would have 1,000 participants, but upon arrival, contestants received a video message from Mr. Donaldson, reviewed by the Times, informing them that the number of contestants was higher. Again, reviewed by the Times. It's a real video, okay? They're not going to show us, of course, but it's been reviewed. The Times can confirm it. They can confirm Jimmy came up on the big screen.
Hello, contestants. I would like to play a game. It is me, Mr. Beast.
Something like that, right? In this one, again, confirmed by Rosanna's people, confirmed by the Vital Vegas website, several contestants also said they had not been warned about how little they would be given to eat and how frequently they described going long stretches without being fed by the production. One said she had gone over 20 hours both during the games and while they were in Las Vegas before and after filming. You know, this kind of matches up with the one story from Rosanna where someone was like, they didn't give us any protein, they were just giving us a Feastables chocolate to eat. That's not real food, that's not real sustenance. One meal described by several contestants included a tiny portion of cold oatmeal, one hard-boiled egg, and a few pieces of raw vegetables. Like, at that point, I would have rather had like a freaking Beast Burger, a Chris dog, I don't know. Just, Jesus Christ, that's not enough. On a few occasions, the production staff passed around small Feastables chocolate bars, a brand created by Mr. Jimbo, and filmed some people eating and praising the candy. So while these people were being starved and not fed for 20 hours at a time, Jimbo is giving people candy, like, smile for the camera. We're going to use this for merchandise. We're going to use this for advertisements. And your tummy's going to be grumbling. We're going to edit that out in post. Several contestants said that when they had sought out production staff members for assistance with medical care, food, and hygiene issues, the staff members were often not helpful and appeared disorganized. Some staff members yelled and cursed at contestants, one participant said. Despite reassurance that contestants' medications would be distributed to them when needed, several contestants said that they had not received their medication on time, including one contestant who needed insulin, instead receiving it hours or even days after their scheduled dosing times. One contestant said she had initially been denied the food she required to take her medication and been told by staff member that she didn't actually need to eat. After asking repeatedly, she was given half a banana. What is someone going to do with that? One contestant said she had left the stadium bruised and bleeding after being injured and eliminated in the first challenge. She was handed $1,000 and a stack of dollar bills as a consolation prize, but she said she had to hand the money back to producers after the cameras were off. Competitors were told they would receive their real payments later, she said, but as of publication time, she had not been paid. So this lady left this stadium bruised, bleeding, injured, got given $1,000 and a Feastable, looked in the camera with a smile. They took the 1,000 back and said, put your PayPal down somewhere. We'll get back to you. Get out of here. The 1,000 participants who made it through all 4 challenges in the stadium without being eliminated are now preparing for the next stage of the competition, which is set to be filmed in Canada in early August. One contestant, a self-professed longtime fan of Mr. Donaldson who's still in the game, said she was nervous about her safety, but planned to continue. In screenshots from a group chat provided to the Times, some of the remaining contestants appeared unbothered by the experience. They had signed a contract that they were willing to lose their life for this. This is absolutely bananas. Again, at this point, you know, it's made the New York Times, it's made the New York Post. Say what you will about those sources, but this is going worldwide news at this point. It's only a matter of time before MrBeast finally puts out a real apology. Stop with the whole PR nonsense, having your representatives go to Vanity and say, yeah, he said something offensive, ooh. Or don't come out on Twitter saying a third-party investigator who's probably like your cousin from down the street is looking into it. Jimmy, MrBeast, you need to come out and say all of these things. All of these things that you know about, like the cloud strike, whatever the heck it is, inclement weather, blah, 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 lack of essential goods, things like that. You need to come out and say, It was all a big mess. It was all a mess, and the people who have been hurt and injured and badly damaged from this game show should be paid more than $1,000, okay? You put these people's lives at risk, and you're still just continuing the games like nothing's happening. As the world is breaking and watching all of this happen, as the MrBeast tower is crumbling, the big tower you walked on there like your Squid Game, it's crumbling down, and you're silent still. It's been almost 2 weeks now since the Ava Chris Tyson situation. Almost 2 weeks now, and you've said nothing beyond, oh, I don't really condone that, even though I was in the Discord. Either way, guys, that's about it for today's video. Let me know what you think down below. Thank you for watching. Peace out.